what do I do now?
Hi, I'm Frank. I'm a professional chef, and these are my $1,425 Fettuccine Alfredo ingredients.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm a home cook, and these are my $13 Fettuccine Alfredo ingredients.
That wheel weighs 80 pounds. You're gonna need help.
Okay, bye.
That is not Parmesan cheese.
Frank?
Not necessarily what I expected for an Alfredo, but I'm gonna make it work.
I don't even know where to start with this.
The fettuccine Alfredo I was gonna make was really special. It was gonna be fresh fettuccine with Alfredo sauce in a carved out Parmesan wheel.
I'm so excited and also terrified.
I had a full Parmesan wheel straight off the boat from Italy.
Moist. They don't tell you how slick these things are.
If I was gonna use all the Parmesan, I was gonna use the rinds to make a Parmesan broth. I was gonna use the cheese for the sauce.
Fancy Italian butter. Look at this.
I had everything I needed to make a homemade pasta from scratch. It was gonna be magnificent. Nonas all over the world were gonna weep.
You know, simple ingredients make great things. Am I putting this in the wheel?
With Emily's ingredients, we have things you'd find in your pantry or your local grocery store.
The fettuccine Alfredo I was gonna make was gonna be a pretty simple but good chicken fettuccine Alfredo.
This is definitely on the simple side, but with a little work, I can make it really difficult. If I had to guess, this dish would probably cost about $13.50. Look at that, right on the money, man. I know my grocery prices.
I have no idea how much a wheel of cheese like this costs. I'm gonna go $303. Oh no, why would you trust me with this? Well, Frank left me these ingredients, but no instructions, as usual.
I hope that Emily doesn't get scared that there aren't a lot of ingredients.
The thing I am most afraid of is definitely everything to do with this giant wheel of cheese.
It might be a little difficult for Emily to cut parm in that large format.
I don't want to disappoint the cheese, I want to respect the cheese, and I don't know how to get into the cheese. Can I call Rose? Hi, Rose.
Hey, Emily, how are you?
I have the biggest wheel of cheese I've ever seen in real life. I'd say I can't wait to dig in, but I have no idea how to dig in.
Why don't we start with that big wedge of cheese? It's super heavy. This is gonna be a little bit of a workout.
Nope. I'll meet the cheese where it is.
You're gonna take that knife and you're gonna score as evenly as possible around the circumference of the cheese.
I am Rocky, and these are my stairs.
And you'll be cutting through the rind. It'll be a little bit hard.
Oh, this seems misguided. It's super greasy.
Next thing you wanna do is take your cheese wedges and wedge them in between the cut that you just made around the entire wheel of cheese.
This can't be how I'm supposed to whack it in.
And you're gonna kind of rock them back and forth horizontally and a tiny little bit vertically as well.
Can these lift 40 pounds? It feels maybe impossible.
Emily, when you're cutting this wheel in half, patience is a virtue. Take your time. Try and go even all the way around.
And you're gonna do that until you'll be able to feel it kind of lift and pop. At that point, you're ready to just take the top off.
Oh my God, look at it.
When we take that top part off of the Parmesan wheel,
Huh?
we're gonna scoop out all the cheese from the center and use that for grating. And then we have this beautiful rind left. Most people throw the rind away. Don't do that. We're gonna make a really nice Parmesan broth with that rind.
Oh, we're going. Oh, we got it.
We're gonna use the parm broth in our pasta as our pasta water, and then we're gonna use it to adjust the final consistency of the sauce.
Is this enough, rind?
And then you're gonna just take a knife, or if you're more comfortable with a spoon, that works too, and start in the middle and start to carve out a bowl. You're gonna wanna make it smooth because you're actually gonna toss your homemade pasta in the Parmesan wheel. There's gonna be some really delicious shards of Parmigiano Reggiano there. You wanna taste those.
No. Ooh, it's like nutty, fruity, cheesy.
You're gonna really have fun with this one, Emily, and you're gonna do great. You're gonna have such a luscious pasta dish.
Thanks, Rose. I'll send you a photo. I'll let you know how it goes.
Now for me, Alfredo isn't really a classic Italian dish. It's a dish that they serve to tourists in Rome. The dish I'm making isn't gonna be a classic Alfredo either. It's inspired by the ingredients, but it's not gonna look like Alfredo at all. First thing I'm gonna do is cook my pasta, and then I'm gonna stick it in these little molds, right? And I'm gonna let it come together into a cake. And then I'm gonna take that cake out and deep fry it. So I'm gonna end up with a crispy fried pasta cake. My water is boiling. I'm gonna add a fair amount of salt. I always tell people, you need to season your water sea salty. If it tastes like the ocean, then you're doing it right.
All right, now we're gonna make some parm water. Parmesan rind into my boiling water. And now we just boil it for 45 minutes. Rose said this is gonna go into my pasta, so I'm making it and then I'm gonna put it in my pasta. Easy as that. Not a lot of ingredients, just a lot of stuff to do.
Once it comes back up to the boil, we want to add all of our pasta. You never want to break pasta. If you break your pastas, then no one is going to cry. I'm going to take my pasta and just drop it straight in and let it fall wherever it falls. And right away, I'm going to give it a stir. I give them a little twist, a little twirl. This way they don't stick together.
All right, parm water achieved. It's become kind of cloudy. There's like some cheesiness on the top. I need to save some of this and cool it off so that I can make my pasta with it. It smells exactly like parm. This is literally parm water. Water parm.
Now I'm gonna take my pasta out and drain it on this towel so there's not too much water on it. And I don't need a strainer. I like to use a pair of tongs right onto the towel. And the main reason we're putting it on the towel is because this is gonna be fried later, and oil and water when you're frying do not go together. While the pasta dries, I'm gonna get my molds together, all right? And then we take our pasta that's been nice and dry, and we stuff it in there. Come on, get in. See how sticky it is? And that's a good thing. We want it to be sticky like that because we want the pasta to stick together at this point and become one cake. We can take the plastic wrap, fold it over the top, and I have some jars with split peas in them. This is gonna make our pasta stick together and hold together so that when we fry it, it doesn't fall apart.
All right, I've got everything here and I'm ready to make my pasta dough. So the first thing I'm gonna do is combine my 2 flours and a little bit of salt.
The combination of both of these flours is gonna give us a nice silky outside of the pasta and a nice dense chew. We're gonna cook it al dente so it have a little bite to it.
And I'm just going to like make a little well here. That's some nice cold parm water. I have made pasta before, but usually with eggs, not water, but I love it. All right, so now I'm just going to knead this until I get it to a nice gluten-y situation.
When you push your finger into the dough, it's gonna leave a dent, and when you remove that finger, you wanna see it come back to its original position.
All right, my dough is kneaded, and now it needs to rest, so I'm just gonna wrap it in some plastic wrap and set it aside.
So now I'm gonna make some garnish for our dish. I'm gonna take my garlic and I'm gonna put it onto the mandolin and get it nice and thin. I'm just gonna sprinkle it around so that it comes into individual slices. You can already smell that wonderful garlic aroma in the room. Can you guys smell it at home? I'm seeing a lot of bubbles here, and that basically means that the water in the garlic is boiling out. And once I stop seeing bubbles, it should be crisp. Give them a tap, get all the fat off, and then spread them out. And then I'm immediately gonna season when they come out of the oil. So while I have this oil hot, I'm gonna fry my parsley. One thing you have to be careful about, these are gonna pop and sputter everywhere. So drop them in, take a step back, okay? You're gonna see, it's gonna like make all these noises, okay? So we get a little bit of that violent explosion. And the same thing with the parsley. You'll see that once the bubbles stop, we can take the parsley out, give it a tap, put it on our tray, and then we want to season this once it comes out because we want some seasoning on that.
All right, my dough's been resting. It's time to roll it out into some pasta sheets. I'm going to put them through here, that'll flatten them, and then eventually pasta. Okay, that was just a little experiment. We're all just learning together, except for all the people who know and are yelling at their screen right now. I'm gonna try and get it to the thickness of fettuccine, which I think is a little thinner than this. Mamma mia. That feels good to me. One more. Oh. That can't be right. Oh, I forgot to turn it back down. You know, I'd love to say I'm getting the hang of this, but I have very little confidence that I'm doing this correctly. There you go, 3 perfect sheets of pasta, no questions asked.
Our pasta cakes have been in the fridge. It's time to fry them up. I'm gonna just take these and instead of just plunking them in, I'll just put them into my spider and lower them in nice and easy. You can see that it's starting to bubble and that's good. This is going to ensure that our pasta cake is not greasy. So I'm using the same oil as the garlic and parsley, and they impart just a little bit of flavor to our oil. So that's going to impart some flavor to our pasta. All right, I'm going to give these a little flip just to see how the backside is looking. We're looking good. I don't care if the inside of this pasta cake is a little soft, but I want it to be nice and crispy on the outside. All right, these look good. Let's take them out, drain them really well, right onto our tray, and we want to season these when they come out and they're nice and hot.
All right, pasta is dried, and it's time for me to try to cut it into fettuccine. Totally ready and definitely not concerned. Going just a little bit thinner than I started out because I think I might have been making more like a tagliatelle than a fettuccine. What do I know? Is this too thin? Is it too thick? Maybe Frank will tell me later. Oh, that kind of looks like fettuccine, right? Right.
And now you have pasta. A heavenly choir of Nonas singing your praises.
All right, my pasta's all ready. I'm gonna cook everything and put it in a giant cheese wheel. Normal day.
So now we're gonna saute our chicken breast. I'm gonna drop it in the pan away from me so the oil splatters that way. So my pan's really hot, my oil's hot. You wanna be careful not to move things around too much. Leave it alone. You can give it a little peek if you're getting nervous, but leave it in the pan. Let the pan do its work. All right, let's give it a turn. So we're starting to get a nice crust on that, and we're gonna let it go. Okay, this looks like it's pretty good. I got some nice browning there. What I wanna do now is take this off of the fire and get rid of the oil. And you can see what we're left with. I got some brown bits. That's called the fond, and I want that in the pan to flavor our sauce. So we're gonna let our chicken breast rest. Letting it rest lets the juices redistribute back into the breast, and it gives us a more juicy and tender end product.
All right, I've got some of my cheese from the wheel. Now I'm gonna grind it up, and I'm gonna use it for my Alfredo sauce. Woo! Smells good, smells cheesy in here. It literally, the smell of cheese is permeating this whole room. I'm so sorry.
Now it's time to make our sauce. I'm gonna take my cream. I'm not gonna use all of it right now. Let me get in there with my whisk first. I'm gonna try and get up all those brown bits. We're gonna hit this with a little bit of salt, and we're gonna let it come to a simmer. While that's coming up, I'm gonna open my Boursin cheese. I'm gonna take about half of this right now and drop it in and give it a whisk. Start whisking away. And I guess it kind of looks like an Alfredo sauce. It's creamy. It looks good. I am going to take some of my cheese. I'm going to sprinkle this in, and I'm going to start buzzing. Buzz it up, and you get a nice, thick sauce. And that is it. Our sauce is done. It's creamy, it's thick, and smooth.
All right, it's time to put it all together. First things first, I'm gonna cook my pasta. This is fresh pasta, so I'm really not gonna cook it for very long. And give it a quick stir. Not nervous at all. The thing is that pasta can feel your fear, so you have to be confident when you handle it. I think that's true. Or a dream I had. And pop it right out. Whoa, what are you doing? Why? See, confidence, you gotta move with confidence. She said, immediately not moving with confidence. All right, and the next thing I'm gonna do is get a whole bunch of butter in here.
The challenge here is getting your sauce emulsified. Emulsified sauces are putting two things together that don't normally stick together. In our case here, we're doing butter and cheese and water.
Feeling good, feeling great. Gonna put like a whole bunch of this parm on top. Oh wow, we're gonna take our tongs, mix it around.
Sometimes when you make an Alfredo sauce, if you have too much grated cheese in there, it gets lumpy and kind of sticks together. So we're gonna take our Parmesan broth and adjust that, just to thin it out a little so it gets nice and creamy.
So we really wanna kind of like turn this into not just cheese on pasta, but a cheesy, saucy pasta.
Once you have the right amount of those, you have to really stir it well so that you get an emulsified sauce at the end.
That is some creamy looking fettuccine Alfredo. I think it's coming together.
You're gonna make the Nonas blush. Whew.
It's a cheese bowl. What is this? What happened here? How did we get to this point? Should I be trusted with this? It's too late now. All right, I think we're done here. Do we need to plate it or does it just stay in the...
It goes in a plate.
My chicken is rested. I'm gonna slice it up. You can see the chicken breast actually has a grain to it. The muscle fibers run this way, so I'm gonna do some nice, long, flat slices. Slicing on the bias because I want long strips of chicken, and I'm cutting against the grain of the meat so it's not chewy at all.
All right, now I'm gonna plate this. Let's see, how are we gonna do this? I guess I'll try and get like a good twirl going here. It's wet. Let's just give it a little parm on top. I call this Parmesan splat. Oh my God. Don't tell Frank I did that. That's so good.
First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my chicken down in the center of the plate. The chicken is the protein, but it is not the star of the show here. Now the pasta is the star of the show. So I'm gonna take my pasta cake, place her right on top. What I really wanna do with this is put some of the sauce around, but also let the sauce soak a little into my pasta cake. And then we're gonna take some of the sauce and sprinkle it around, right? And then I'm gonna take some of my garlic chips and kind of selectively place them around. A few chips hiding inside that nest, so you get a little surprise once in a while. And then some of my parsley leaves, just a few around the plate. But let them fall naturally. There you go, look at that. It's gorgeous. Emily,
Hey,
good
how's it
seeing you.
going? Nice to see you. Hi, Chef Frank. I
was the
opened up a
cooking
whole
thing?
wheel of cheese.
No, it's funny because I've never actually done that myself.
Oh, well, you know, I'll
So you
show
got one up on me, I love it.
Well, I'm excited to see what you did.
It's nothing like you could imagine.
All right.
Yeah.
Eee.
3, 2, 1.
Ah, look at this.
That looks exactly like fettuccine alfredo should look.
Pasta, cheese, and butter, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's that simple, you know?
Yeah.
But it takes all day to make.
Yeah, I know. I mean, trust me, I've been here.
I went a little crazy with this.
Look at this.
So it's not exactly fettuccine alfredo, I know that.
Well, you
Totally
know I'm a
different, but
purist,
delicious.
but-
Yeah, I know. I'm ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
Time to taste. Delicious. The thing about this pasta is that it's just simple ingredients, you know? And it's all about the technique. The chew on the pasta is perfect.
Oh, thank you. I made that
Yeah.
pasta myself.
No, it's great.
And it just, to me, like, it just tastes like the cheese, but in a very, like, positive way.
Yeah, in a good way. That's kind of the decadence of it. It's creamy and it's cheesy. You're hitting those notes, and that's that makes it so good.
Thank you so much. I worked really hard.
All day.
It was super hard, and my feet are tired, but I agree, it's delicious.
Yeah,
Great
it's
recipe.
Absolutely delicious.
I'm so excited to dig into this.
I'm excited for you to try this.
Like a little of everything.
A little bit of everything, a piece of chicken.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not Alfredo, but it's got some really good flavor to it.
I feel like it's like, you have all the flavors of like a classic, like American style, like
Agreed.
chicken Alfredo.
Just a little more like whimsical.
Yeah, it's a
if
little
you will.
whimsical. When I think you, I think whimsy.
Totally.
If someone charged me $13.54 for this at a restaurant, I'd be like, you're crazy, charge me more.
I got the shaker cheese, the green top one. And at first, I think that I really put it down a lot. It's not cheese. It is not cheese. But I realized that it actually has some additives to it that make things kind of like gel and hold that creaminess. So I think that aided in this sauce.
Great recipe, great cooking. You did it.
And you got to work out.
And I got,
All that in a workout.
do I look a little stronger than before?
Swole, you're swole.
Right, don't be too scared. Uh-huh.